think it's setting up.
The Facebook gods are with us.
As long as we don't get this thing. Oh, it's live already. Hey.
I think so.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Lisa Zimmer Essential Oils Biz Tips. I'm Lisa Zimmer. I'm a doTERRA Blue Diamond. Here, let's do I have a guest speaker today, but I always like to take screenshots of my screen, and I never remember to do it until after it's over, and then I never get a picture where my mouth isn't moving or I'm not making a dumb face. So let's take a screenshot of us, Raine. Ready? Peachy. All right, so now I can.
That'll be a first.
It's a good one, yes. All right, so I'm Lisa Zimmer. I'm a doTERRA Blue Diamond. All that means to you is I like to help lots and lots of people get started with their oils journey, right? And so what a lot of people don't know is that I also like to help all doTERRA advocates in the entire company, regardless of whether you're on my team or not, be successful in your doTERRA business. All right, because why not? How are we going to get oils in every home if we're all working on our own, right? We can do so much better when we do it together. Also, I come to this doTERRA experience with many, many years of sales, marketing, customer service background. And so it was easy for me to transition that knowledge into doTERRA and become successful very quickly in the business. Not everyone comes to doTERRA with that background, and I like to share what I learned along the way in doTERRA, so you don't make the same mistakes or fall into the same pitfalls that I did, simply because you don't know what you don't know. And I just like to make it easier so that people stick with the business. This isn't a hard business. We're just very, very good at making it harder than it needs to be. When you say that's true, Raine,
Totally true. I lived it.
Expertise in making things harder than they need to be. So I am the creator of the 60-second enrollment script, where you can help people simply and easily in 60 seconds or less. And then you continue and build your relationship from there. Right? But we teach you how to stop scaring people away. And I'm the creator of WWZD, What Would Zimmers Do, a training course where we take you through in real life, real time, what we're working on in our business during that time period that you can apply to every time period in your business moving forward. And then I'm also the creator of the Trifold, the Intro to doTERRA Trifold. I discovered a few years ago that doTERRA didn't have a simple, single-page brochure to share with people the entire process from beginning to end, including how to get started with their own account, whether you're with them or not. And so I created that tool to make your business easier. We call it the new business card. So Raine, who I met last, Christmas, I think we decided, through WWZDs and through Biz Tips and relocating part-time to Florida, we got to be friends. And she has implemented these programs in a short amount of time, really. And she's going to tell you her journey as she reached, yay, gold rank last month. So I'm very, very excited for Raine to share her journey. It's been a really good journey. One of the things I want to make sure that people know, and she's going to tell you more about this, is there's never a bad time to come back to your doTERRA business, right? That's what's beautiful about a residual income business like doTERRA. You can take a break like Raine did, and she'll tell you what and why, and come back, and with the right tools and the right scripts, you can come back and build a beautiful business. And so take it away, Raine. Share what you want to share today, because we want to hear.
Thank you. Well, I'm grateful to be here because I, like you, want to explain to people how easy and fun this could be. Because when I started with doTERRA, I was doing classes that were 2 hours long.
Me too.
It was like watching paint dry. It was terrible. And I was so involved with that I didn't even know I was overwhelming people. So obviously the close rate was low and all of that. And there was no joy in it. There was no fun. So in December of 18, we sold our home in Northern Illinois, packed up everything, and moved to Florida. So before that, I had put my business, my doTERRA business, on hold. I was wrapping up my current business, which was a law practice in Chicago. And I was busy, packing up and moving. So we moved to Florida and I said, that's it. And somehow, and I don't know how, I found Lisa either through YouTube's or just through Googling, because I knew there had to be somebody who had a simple way of doing this. Because there's so many people enrolling, so many people that I knew I could do it. And I landed on the this Biz Tips page.
The Biz Tips, yeah.
Yep. And I started reading and going through the files and found the 60-second enrollment in the files there, which I still have my original copy and then a little bit of an updated copy. Never have changed the words. You can see all I did was scratch out for the new kit prices. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, because that's really all that matters. And I think I did my first WWZD, which was 3, and we figure maybe it was like February, March of 2019, because I was ready to saddle up and get this done. I actually added in my calendar, the builder planner stuff, and I was really working the business. Mind you, we're living in an RV. But no excuses. Internet was iffy, so you go to the clubhouse, right?
Temporary housing,
temporary housing.
storage.
Everything in storage while we're building. I was living
Building a house. That's a full-time job for those of you that have never experienced it, because it was a custom build. It was the real deal. Yeah.
Exactly. And we had no idea. We had never done that before. So I had maintained my customers. I was still doing my lives every week, which I've done for a few years. And, my customer base was loyal, although some of them I had enrolled the old way. So I didn't even know what their pain points were. I didn't know what their issues. Yep. So then in November, after doing a couple of WWZDs, in November, I hit silver. That's November of 2019. And I was thrilled. Okay. And that's because I used the Zimmer BOGO system, I call it. So BOGOs are a blast,
BOGOs are a blast. We need to make a graphic about that.
Exactly.
I love it.
And my upline and everybody had always said how exhausted they were from BOGOs. It's no big deal. It's so much fun, So we did that. And then now through the most recent WWZDs, we've talked about engagement posts and the online classes and things in these current situations, because it's 2020. And so then in April, I hit silver again. And this time really well organically, and was able to keep it comfortably.
But honestly, Raine, so because we've been friends that whole time now, right? Since I moved here. But like your real true business focus, when would you say that came into play? Because it wasn't even throughout that time period, right? Because it was finishing moving in and the build. And when would you say you really like came back to doTERRA? Because I know you hit the silver twice, but your like solid, your true rank was premier.
Absolutely.
And right. So when would you say you literally really came back, like to your level of, hey, I'm actually going to do this?
2 months ago.
Yeah.
Because we moved in February into our home. And then of course there's all that tumult. Okay. And so it was really about 2 months ago that I rolled up my sleeves and said, time to go whole hog.
And it was really premier to gold.
And it was premier to gold within those 2 months. Exactly.
And that was WWZD like 10, 11, and 12 or 10 and 11 pretty much.
Yeah, a little bit of 9, 10, and 11. Exactly. Okay. Exactly. And there's so much to harvest from the older WWZDs that sometimes I would find myself going back and saying, oh, I didn't do that, so let's do it now. No big deal. So what I did was I decided I have this prospect list that I had. Everybody has it. It's the ones that you keep dripping stuff to, the ones that you keep reaching out to, inviting to stuff. And really, nothing happens. I now know a little bit more about them. And the ones that I thought were either almost ready, financially, there was a hurdle, or ones that would really benefit from having these oils now during this current situation. I called them up because people don't get phone calls anymore. I called them up, I went down my list and I said, you know, hey, I know you've been on the fence. There's an incredible deal right now that I've never seen from doTERRA. And we really need to get you started. And, you know, call me, it'll only take a couple minutes, no big deal. I texted each of them the graphics, which I forgot to bring out, but they were the graphics that we've all seen with the kits, the 5 free oils, and the one for the Healthy Start kit actually has the picture of the pedal diffuser because they're out of the Brevi. So it's a really good deal. And then I followed up with them just on the text, no big deal, because I wanted to talk with them. Texting had not worked before.
So Raine and I are old school. We like to get people on the telephone and talk to them. But in WWZD, we teach you how to do both. So one of the things for Raine and I too is we both built our businesses up to before transitioning belly to belly. So like WWZD 8 through 12, right, really focus on this. How do I do this when I'm not meeting with everybody in person and in-person classes?
Right.
And so that's why I'm loving the transition where you came back during a time doing things completely differently, right? Because you couldn't do it the way you did it before. And to come out of the gate implementing the WWZD 9, 10, and 11 tools and boom, 11, 12 people. That's the like true like wow moment, right? Because
right, it was because it was really clicking, it was really working. And one after another, it was the same list for the conversation. It was, you know, first of all, just a little, you know, how you doing, you know, in these crazy times. And then, you know, what you got going on. I want to make sure we get you the best value right now because I know that's important to you. And then either I would, depending on the person and their situation, either I would present our healthy habits, which we love, okay, or I would present a 2 different kit thing, you know, healthy habits and maybe the healthy start, or healthy habits and the healthy essentials. I'm getting used to the names.
I know we all still are.
And it was not, you know, do either of them look good to you? It wasn't any of that old language. Or let me tell you some more about what's in these. I never discussed the oils, period. The only thing that I ever said was about the essential oil infused vitamins and supplements and how important they are and how they changed my life. And one after another said, great, sign me up. And I sent out a link.
Easy lemon squeezy.
Boom, done. Each one I set up a follow-up. Now it's been crazy because of delivery times. Not a big issue. I just told them, hey, we may have to reschedule, but at least we time blocked, you know.
How far out did you book those right now? Like 7 or 10 days or?
I booked them originally about 9 days out. Some people got their stuff, the healthy habits got theirs like within days.
That came really fast. Yeah, mine did too this last month.
Yeah.
It came fast.
Some of the other ones are still waiting on their kit. I have 2 that are still waiting, but all the rest have gotten them and now we've rescheduled them and I have one right after this actually.
Love it.
But I think that, you know, there was also a team member who was struggling with this one gal that she just couldn't seem to get on board. She knew she would love the vitamins. She had given her a sample of the vitamins. And so I went over, I had given her the 60-second, you know, enrollment. We went over it together, pretending to be that gal, and boom, she enrolled her. So it was like catching on, you know.
That's what's so cool. Like when we started talking about your story, because it's hard. Like when I get like testimonials from other people, you know, they PM me or text me, and I'm like, "Hey, you want to come on Zoom?" Well, we see each other and talk to each other like, you know, all the time. We talk almost every day, and so it's like to actually like, I know you're doing the things, but it's not like, "Hey, Lisa, thanks. This was amazing. This miracle thing happened," and it's like you've been doing little bit at a time, like absorbing, learning, like, okay, but now it's like I'm doing it. I'm
Right.
actually doing it. And I'm doing all the things. You did all the things. You got the WWZD graphics. You did the 60-second enrollment. You did the call. You followed the script. You texted. You followed the script. You offered this or this. You followed the script.
Right.
All the scripts that we post in WWZD, where you just literally just copy it off the screen and send it. And the magic happens. Like, no, like, oh, well, what about this? And what about that? And what about this? And what if, learn, 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 learn. You just did. You just
Right.
did it.
Right.
And it happened. And that's where so many people just watch and learn and watch and learn and watch and learn and worry and what if, and they don't do the do. And you just did straight to gold. That's
Well,
incredible.
when I started using the 60-second enrollment, it was a little clumsy. You know, we have to practice, we have to get used to it, but you have to also say, if these people are going to judge me, they're not going to want to work with me anyway. You know,
Yeah,
they're
like
not
that.
my people. And I would, you know, as I went through, it was still almost verbatim. What you got going on? Great. We've got a kit that has oils in it that can handle bump, 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 and bump, and it's deeply reduced, you know, those kinds of things. And it just worked so well. I was going to come on last week, but I was too busy doing follow-ups.
She was sending out all her 11 goodie bags. And now we're having lunch tomorrow, so she can throw some deep blue and a couple more.
Exactly. Yeah, I made them here to go up north because I'm doing 4 or 5 workshops up there in a week or so.
She's like, Lisa, I just enrolled all these people and I don't have all this stuff for the goodie bags. We got to meet for lunch. Help me. What do you have?
Exactly.
Like, that's a good problem to have, isn't it?
Right.
Like, I
Right.
did not think everything that you told me to do when I did it, it would work. And here we are. And now I'm like, whoa, I love
Well,
it.
and the key, I think, was there was a sense of urgency. It was the last week of the month.
Mhm.
This $50 promotion was wonderful. One gal I texted, I said, let's get you going so that you can hop in on one of our buy one, get one, because it was the preceding week. She said, no, that doesn't even interest me. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, you know.
That didn't work, right? What I want people to know is there's always a way to create a sense of urgency. Okay. That's just the basic selling skill, right? Create your sense of urgency with right now, you can get the goodie bag and the 5 oils free. Yes, those are a standard part of your process, folks, but guess what? They're not always available. Kits run out, as we just learned, right? The Brevi Healthy Start Kit ran out, so doTERRA made a temporary solution. These kits can go out of stock at any time. It could be changed at any time. Like Raine found out, right? So deep blue, oh, I just realized deep blue samples are out of stock. So no wonder you needed them. Right, deep blue samples can come out of stock. So moving forward, our goodie bags might not have them. What you're offering at that time is always a sense of urgency. We just have to make sure we realize that, right? We get so spoiled that, oh, this stuff's just always going to be available. Well, right now, the sense of urgency, if you guys saw the graphics I posted yesterday for everyone, I changed them, right? Raine used my graphics that were posted there, and I posted those in WWZD, and they were tweaked for July with the additional information. You can use those 5 free oil graphics anytime, right? That is a sense of urgency, especially the healthy start, because the one posted right now has the pedal diffuser. And when they switch it back to Brevi diffuser, the math does not work out to 5 oils free. Right? I've done all the math extensively, folks, so trust me, it's correct. Right? So with all those kits, healthy start, healthy habits, healthy essentials, as of right now, the healthy start having the pedal diffuser, it's 5 oils for free in that kit, right? Diffusers included, with the 2 and wholesale accounts included, right? It's all about how you word things too. Like people feel the need to itemize that diffuser's not free and account's not free. You don't need to itemize, right? Just make it simple. People don't even know what oils are coming in the kits that you help them order because they didn't need to. They don't know what they do anyway or understand it, and they don't need to. until they get them, right? It's that whole, your brain can only handle so much information and so many processes at one time. So help them just say yes to the first thing, which is the need. I do need those. I do see value in that. Yes, I'll get those. Step two is helping them understand what they do and how to use that, right? That's your membership overview. Don't give people a PhD in doTERRA before they even say yes, or you may never get to yes, right? We love word vomiting. So Rainey and I are really good at talking. We talk like hours a day. Sometimes we love to talk. So I promise if Rainey and I can get over the talking so much. I told Rainey, I said, in the old days, I used to talk so much that I think people literally just went ahead and said yes so that I would stop talking. Because I could do a one-on-one and it would be hours. And I would literally just, if there was silence, I was trying to fill it, right? I was totally missing the boat on all of it because I was just so excited about my oils, but I had lost my skills at being a really helpful and good salesperson. A good salesperson isn't salesy. A good salesperson is a helper, right? And I was so busy babbling about my love of my oils that I wasn't paying attention to them and their need. They need us to shut up and listen and talk less so that they can process. When you say,
there were several of the people on these that I enrolled that I had already vomited on,
you recovered.
quite a long time ago, but they're not dead. They really wanted the oils then. I just ruined it. Mm-hmm. I just, I overwhelmed them. And I think that I could almost feel a sense of relief from them that I wasn't doing that again.
They were like, oh no, Rainy's going to talk to me for an hour. Ain't got time for this.
Right, exactly.
You help them get what they need in the time frame that they had available too. Which, folks, people are busy. Even with everything that's going on in the world, people never stop being busy. That's the biggest thing that I love about the 60-second enrollment. It's free, folks. The scripts and the files tab everywhere. You can Google 60-second enrollment and it's famous now. It just pops up. Yay, that's kind of fun. Yeah. I never Googled myself until I was trying to help someone with oils and connect with them, and they were a business owner, and I couldn't find them anywhere. And I was like, this is so bizarre. I meet these people, they have their own business. I should be able to at least Google them and find them somewhere, find them on Facebook. And I thought, I wonder if I Google myself, can you find me? And I Googled myself, and one of the first things that came up was 60-second enrollment and then all kinds of stuff. I'm like, okay, people can't not find me. So that's a good lesson in here too, right? Is making sure that you're still being seen. And that's one thing you continued to do, even after you took the break from your business for the selling the old property, closing up your law practice. And Rainey does her homework too. So I want to help people understand, like, Rainey's extremely intelligent, right? Had a successful law practice, not just winging it. Like you did take your time. That's not what made you successful. What made you successful was the implementation. But you did take your time to research. Like you don't just go after the next shiny new toy. Basically, is what I'm trying to get at. Like,
and every single person in my upline is doing that. They're now doing
like a new shiny toy.
Yeah, a lot of that, a lot of various different of the systems that are out there, whether it's a different way of sampling or this or that. And I tell them I cannot do that. Some of them have even jumped in and taken a WWZD or looked at this Biz Tips page and then went on to the next shiny object. So all you need is, this trifold is gold. Okay, if people don't have it, they need to get it. Because when I sit down to make a call or do a text or anything, sure, there's scripts and stuff in WWZD, but you don't need them. They're all right in here.
If you've got the trifold, right?
Yeah.
Hey, tell them about, so Rainey and I went, I think it was Christmas was our first spa visit, wasn't it? Like December, was it December?
Yes.
So in December, Rainey and I went to a spa. I think we had lunch one day and then like the next week or something, we went to a spa and got massages and a pedicure, right? And so I wanted to see what Rainey can do. So I didn't do the Lisa Zimmer thing. I wanted to see what Raine can do, and Raine did the Zimmer thing. So you want to tell them about that? You have time for that?
It was a lovely spa that was actually closer to where you live. And it was the kind of full service salon and spa where they're using all very good top line products. And their technicians and their massage therapists were all very top drawer. And
salon and nail and pedicure,
beautiful.
Like a huge place.
Beautiful. So what I did was I asked to speak with a manager and asked them if they would be interested in having a conversation about bringing essential oils in that could help them serve their customers, because it's a very premier line that is on par with the other products that they have in there.
I want you guys to pause this video, rewatch that, and take those words, because I stood back and watched Raine work magic on this spa. And then what did you do? You handed them, like, she was ready. She was locked and loaded.
Exactly. I had the spot. Well, I had the regular, what I call intro trifold, but it's the Living doTERRA Naturally Trifold. And I had the spa, salon, and the nail professional trifolds.
She was whipping stuff out of her bag. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful to watch.
Exactly. And so what I did then was I followed up. I got the information on the owners, the facility manager's name. Then from there to the owner's name, we set up a meeting coordinating with the manager and one of their top massage therapists who runs that side. And we sat down and we went through why it would benefit their clients, what I would put it together, and they ordered it.
So now for those of you that are thinking, well, why doesn't that work for me? First of all, most people aren't brave enough to say, hey, I have this for you. You need this. First of all, Raine was brave, right? What's the worst that's going to happen? They say, no, thanks, right? Second, she was prepared. You have to be able to leave something with them that tells your story for you, because they are so busy. And lastly, she never gave up. We went back in January, I think, January or February, right? And got our toes done.
Yep.
And she worked with those people as well and chatted about it. This whole process lasted from December to July.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, this is not, when you are working on a project of this, I don't want to say value per se, but of this scope, right? This is not just Susie, homemaker, wanting some oils to sleep better, right? This is a real business. This is a tremendous opportunity in so many ways, because that spa has, I don't even know how many employees. I mean, just the number of massage therapists alone and nail technicians and hair. I mean, that place is huge, right? It was a 7-month process.
Mm-hmm.
But what she never did was give up and play the wow, woe is me, they're not calling me back. Or you had pretty much every obstacle you could have. They're incredibly busy, so it was hard to reach the decision makers.
Then the current situation
they closed, right? Never gave up, kept going, right? And kept them on your, I need to check in with them, right? And always talk to them about what's in it for them, what did they need, I'm here for you, but never gave up. And I can say with 100% certainty, because my life's a little crazy too, that is where I probably fall short, right? For 7 months to stick with it. And that's where Raine shined. But it helped having those tools, leaving them behind. Even when we went back in February, you left a couple more things because it was different girls at the desk, different ladies at the desk.
And things that misplaced, you know, once the current situation hit, when I got a notice, because both of us got on their email list, we got a notice that they were reopening. I immediately emailed over to the owner and said, because I had not left her samples. I'm not a sampler. I had brought oils in that I thought would be good for the spa. I had told her that I didn't want the massage therapist to use the other oils on me because I know they're contaminated. And if I know, then other of her clientele know. And
Planting seeds along the way, right? You didn't have to give them a dissertation in the oils. You said like
no,
2 sentences.
never did. No. And then I said, I think that it would make your customers, your clients feel comfortable if you were diffusing On Guard, which I had talked to her about. May I bring a diffuser there and a bottle of On Guard with a little sign so that you can tell their people that you are diffusing this for their protection and safety.
Mhm,
And she loved it.
mhm.
You know, the customers loved it. And I
And
think,
this was before the actual enrollment took place, wasn't it?
yes,
Yeah. So
yes,
see how like with this scope of a opportunity and project, right? It's different. It's not always a 60-second enrollment. You implemented the 60-second enrollment
totally.
repeatedly,
Yeah.
like over the 7-month period. And think of it as dating. I like to use the analogy of dating a lot of times, right? There was dating. You were dancing, you were I don't want to say wooing because that sounds cheesy. You were honest and helpful because your genuine interest is helping them offer more services for their business, right? If your genuine interest in helping others is lining your pocketbook 100%, and you're not thinking about the customer on the other side, you quite simply are not going to succeed. You might make some sales, but you're not going to succeed and build the long-term relationship because they're going to see it and feel it and know that you're onto something else or just in it for a quick buck or right. And so Raine, when you have a project of this scope and have to keep their attention because they're so distracted with everything else that's going on, right? You have to do things to show them that you genuinely care. And that was a perfect way to do it. Borrow my diffuser, borrow my On Guard, let's put up a sign, let's get you feeling comfortable. And basically, it was a creative way of, I don't like the word sampling because I just see like people handing out drams everywhere insanely. It was relationship development, was what it was.
It was, and the customers also, when they told the managers and the desk people and the owner that they appreciated that being done, the diffusing, that's like how we would use testimonials,
Yep.
you know, and that really helped. And but they didn't know from day to day how their business would be, if people would come back. So we scaled down their original order. And then I treat a business just like an individual. So you still have your 36, your follow-up
Mm-hmm.
and your 30, 60, 90-day check-in. And in this case, it's scheduling to sit down with staff and say, okay, what's going on? What can I help you with? What would make your life easier working with your desk people or whatever? So
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not putting an additional job onto them. I can be there to train those people.
They need to see the value in immersing this new product into what they do without seeing another commitment or job or task. Or that's what so many people miss the boat on. For example, I had a nurse practitioner on a couple of years ago, right? Incorporating the medical trifolds, the Zimmer medical professionals trifold, just like you did with the hair and nail and intro, right? And the biggest mistake people make is we try to tell a different story. We try to approach them in a different way. It's all the same. You have to help them first, help them uncover their problem and their need, whether it's a need in their business or a personal need, it doesn't matter. It's still the same process. And you can't go in like and shove it down their throat like, oh, don't you want residual income? Oh, being a doctor or running a spa is buckets and you want residual income. Like, don't insult what they do now and love now. Maybe they like hauling those buckets because those buckets made them successful, brought them joy. Or like in the medical world, I've spoken with medical professionals who have transitioned to doTERRA, and they said it took a long time because you all approach us incorrectly. I just got done with medical school and residency and blah, 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 and I'm hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And I have just climbed Mount Everest. And you're telling me that what I did was wrong and that I need to climb the next mountain, right? And it's all in how you present it. And Rainey presented this beautifully. This would go great with what you're already doing and provide a service that your customers would love, would set you apart from other spas, salons, etc. Right? Those are the words that people want to hear because they're business owners of today. And they know there are 50 million spas out there. There's 100 million hair salons. I mean, there's probably more than that, right? And how many physicians are out there? They know they have to do something to set themselves apart. That's helping them solve a problem that they have. It may not be head and neck discomfort or achy joints, or right. Help uncover what problems they need to solve. What business owner doesn't need to be better represented to their customers? What business owner doesn't need additional services without a lot of work? Right? So we don't talk about 100 PV and 125 PV and power of 3 and unilevel, and they don't even really need to know any of that. They do now because you've presented them like with the sharing and growing trifolds, but even then you still don't focus on it. You focus on the process and how to succeed in their business with 60-second enrollment. Awesome.
Exactly.
This kit.
I didn't push them enrolling people and building a residual income. I just planted the seeds. And there's one gal in particular there who's ready to open her account. I said, wait, you'll open your account under the owners. So then we're now teaching them that it's easy, there's no pressure, and it can just unfold like that. And then they have a setup. So in our next meeting next week, we'll be doing that. I'll show them how to open that account. Once they've learned, they can do it for customers.
Yep. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And that's where we just have to keep remembering, whether you're talking to your Uber driver, you're talking to your neighbor, you're talking to the wait or server, or you're talking to the flight attendant, you're talking to a doctor, you're talking to the hair salon owner. It doesn't matter who you're talking to. It's less talking. You seriously, when we were at the counter checking out, it was 2 or 3 sentences.
Right.
And bill trifold. That's it. And it was the next time it was, now when we got our toes done, right, you had an hour, 45 minutes to an hour of a captive audience, right? But and that's a little different. You guys chit-chatted in there, but there was all the components of what we talk about, right? Most importantly, relationship building. So that every time Rainey came back and had a different service, genius, right? They were exposed to Rainey and relationship building was happening.
Well, and the people at the desk, they aren't the decision makers. They're just the gatekeeper. So if they see that I am being professional, handing them the trifold, asking them to pass it on to the office manager or owner, to the salon manager or owner, that's what they do. They're not going to be the ones that are going to make any decision on it. Just like any other business, if it was a real estate office, if it's, I have nail salons, chiropractors, it's all the same way. Whoever's at the desk really normally isn't making the decisions.
And it's being prepared, which is why I came up with, right? Because think about it. When you're at that counter, these people don't even really understand what you're talking about.
No.
And you don't have time to explain it. And that's where the professional trifold series comes into play. That's where just the intro trifold, if you're talking to a normal person, right? Say you're at Costco and I like to use this example because it really happened, right? And somebody was looking for something and they're like, oh my gosh, you smell good. And somebody in Biz Tips here reached into their purse and gave them an intro to doTERRA trifold. Perfect. And said, oh, I use these essential oils for my health and wellness. They're amazing. They've helped with this, this, and this. And that person had to get back to work, but they took the trifold. And by the time Biz Tips wellness advocate got home from Costco, the lady had enrolled herself, right? She didn't have time to tell the story but she had the single piece of paper, easy to read tool that told the
Right.
story for them, right? So when Rainey left, only talking to the gatekeepers for 2 to 3 sentences, they were able to pass on the hair and nail trifold that told the story for Rainey, right? Planted a seed because we need those 7 to 10 touches and whatnot. And that was just one of them, right? But at least when you hand out your trifolds to people in person or send them to them or whatever, they have a story being told to them on their timeline at their convenience, right? Your servers, your Uber drivers, your concierge at the hotel, your bank tellers, all these people, this is why you want to be, I'm not joking about being locked and loaded, right? I've got 2 pouches in my purse, pink one and a green one, right? And a green one is my intro trifold. These are just pencil cases that I carry. And the other one has the rest because I never know who I'm going to meet and where. Oh, that's the one I have. That's my intro trifold one.
Yeah, I love this one. Yeah.
And so those are in my purse, right? They're in the bottom of my purse and they stay nice and I'm always prepared. So if I run into someone somewhere standing in line at Best Buy, and I use that example, right? We stood in line for an hour waiting for computers to be picked up and I was able to enroll someone on the spot by just reaching in. Being prepared, but not being prepared like with an arsenal of, I don't carry samples and I don't carry anything else. I might have my body spray that I spray on before I go into a spa, before I go into the furniture store, before I go into the bank, so that people say, oh my gosh, you smell great. What is that? Oh, well, let me tell you, right? Anything to trigger conversations. You don't need 50 million things, especially if you're new here and you're just getting started, right? Someone reached out to me the other day. They're like, I'm overwhelmed. I just see all this stuff to buy. I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
The 60-second enrollment, it's free. Get your intro trifold, it's $20. Let's just start there because if you can do those 2 things and then get into WWZD like 11 and 12 right now. 12 won't officially start until middle of September, but we presented free handout to teach a mask spray course and free label templates and all kinds of stuff already. So get in 12 now because it's on sale for $29. And then get 11, right? And then start extracting all those scripts for, did you do any reactivations in July? Did you use the reactivation scripts and text blitzing?
I did, and that I didn't even count in an enrollment. So I did a reactivation of somebody that was on my team. Actually, someone else in my upline, it's the only time this had happened, had placed her on my team. They were the enroller. And I called her up and I said, can we switch her over to me as the enroller? Because she's not doing the business anymore. We did that. That was earlier in the month.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right. So like what's really cool with the WWZD process, right? It doesn't matter that WWZD 11 mentions BOGOs. For those of you joining WWZD 11 and you see BOGO stuff in there, say to yourself promo, right? Because that applies for every single promotion that we do. It's the same process. You don't order it for other people. You talk about the magic of math, and I give you math in there and teach you how to be a magical marketer with math and how to word things. And it doesn't matter that BOGOs are touched on. It's like, 99% not BOGOs in there. But get in there, get your scripts for reactivation, get your scripts for text blitzing. So we text blitzed reactivations, hostesses for people not enrolled, enrolling people. We text splits for existing members for hostess. Like we text splits the daylights. There was no audience left untouched in July if you followed it and implemented it. And that's how you can go from Premier to Gold in 1 month, adding 11 enrollments.
And I use those text blitzes in order to set up, because, on the 20th, we're heading up north. And I use those text blitzes again in order to set up workshops up there, having existing customers want to host a class and then just send them out the hostess trifold. All the instructions are in there.
Easy peasy.
Easy.
Is this a little easier than law?
Yes, and much more joyful sometimes.
much more joyful. That's the beauty of doTERRA, right? I came from real estate, and there's a lot of law and lawsuits in real
So
estate.
you know, exactly.
Raine came from criminal law, and so we're both like, oh my gosh, this is a piece of cake. Nobody's gonna sue me over lavender, right?
Right, right.
So it's just, that's why we're still from Polina, the no big deal, right? She got to say no big deal. And it really is, what we do is no big deal, but it is a big deal if you do it right, because you can go from premier to gold in 1 month, right? And
Right.
we saw Laura do that. And Laura LeBeau in
Absolutely.
April went from 5,000 in volume to over 20,000 in volume with 138 people.
Great. It was
The
great.
8, 9, and 10 WWZDs. And she did it again. So this is not a one-hit wonder system, right? That's what Raine was on before, where, hit silver. You started implementing the WWZD, but there was some old stuff still in your, right?
Yeah.
And so you hit silver, but then it was just like, yeah, that's just, nothing wrong with being a BOGO silver back then, right? I was BOGO blue. So it's just what happens, right? November's are awesome month to rank. The challenge is solidifying. And so now we got to see Laura, hit gold in April, which was miraculous, and helped her upline hit blue diamond, who was not expecting to go blue diamond.
Right.
And she did it again. So it's not a one-hit wonder system. It's wow, this is a really good foundation to build my business and build my business well, so that I can continue with it, right? I built my business and built to diamond very quickly, but I didn't do it well. We all think that just because you hit a rank or succeed that you're there, okay? And there's something called diamond depression. A lot of us killed ourselves, didn't know about 60-second enrollment because I hadn't created it yet, didn't know about trifolds because they weren't created yet. And we do all these things, and then we get to diamond and we're like, oh wow, I didn't make this easy along the way, and so I don't like doing it anymore. Or I didn't make it easy along the way and people can't duplicate me. Like, you already saw the magic of duplication. Somebody said, I'm having trouble enrolling this person on my team. Boom, you taught her 60-second enrollment and she did it. That's what I love seeing happen at WWZD. You watch all the comments and the progress.
Oh yeah,
too. I know you do.
Nuggets in there. Yes, yes.
Magical. I need to ask Adrien to get on. So Adrien went from smelling oils in April, starting her business in May, and with WWZD, April, June, and July, she hit Premier in July. Awesome. Went from 0 to Premier in 2 WWZDs. Yeah. Or maybe even one. I think she watched one, and then this last WWZD in July. So really, from 0 to Premier in July.
Right.
That was, I got to get her on one. Yeah. And so that's what I want people to see, is anyone can do it at any level.
Those other trifolds and stuff. This intro trifold, the Living doTERRA Naturally, this is all you need. If it had been a business, I still would have used this.
Start with that. Because you always have to uncover their needs and tell the story, no matter who they are.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah. And the beauty of it is that this doesn't say that it's only for customers. This doesn't say that it isn't for businesses. This is for everyone. So that's why I love this, and it's easy for people. The first ones I just wrote on with a Sharpie.
Me too. I didn't have a customized picture on the front until like 6 months ago, and I've been producing them for over 2 years, maybe 3 years now, right? So I wrote on the front, or I stuck a sticker label on it, or I taped my business card with double stuck tape, or I stapled my old business cards. And then on the back where it said my website and my ID, it was all ultra fine point black Sharpie right here. I still got them everywhere I go because I print on the fly and I still hadn't customized them. And you don't have to be technologically advanced, folks. You just have to have the information and a way to contact you and a way to find you and make sure they can. Go Google yourself. Go have somebody type you up in Facebook and make sure you can be found. Because people can't order from you and have you change their life if they can't find you, right? And make sure you're seen. That's what I love too, is even though you step back from your biz, your existing customers were still cared for without you killing yourself, right? I think.
Right, right. And because it was not this current situation, I was doing, even right after we moved, I set up immediately to do 2 classes a month.
Yep.
The same location each month, you know, 2 different locations, but the same every month. And then when the current situation hit, it was like, boom, you
Everybody
know.
knew who you were and where to find you, even though we
Right.
couldn't see you, right, in
They were
person.
shut down. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's the thing, folks. It doesn't have to be all or nothing, right? So Rainey took a really good break from her biz, but she didn't abandon her people, right? You can step away from your biz in doTERRA, which is why I love it too, right? I didn't, honestly, other than helping people with WWZD, I didn't work a ton in July. I spent a lot of time with my family before my son goes back to school and whatnot. I was able to do that, right? I continued to show up and care for my customers a weekly live and a once a month Zoom. Other than that, I wasn't, and then I ran my, monthly graphics that posted for me. That's it, right? I didn't kill myself and I could take that break and my business kept going. Did I flourish in July? No, I did great. I did fine. We ranked by the middle of the month and all these great things. But the point is, you still want to nurture your business even when life gets in the way. The
Well,
create a business that you can maintain easily, trifold, 60-second enrollment, and grow when life gets in the way. Because I'm sure you being Rainy enrolled a few peeps along this building journey.
yeah. I mean, I normally enroll 2 to 4 people a month.
Mhm.
But like the other day, a gal messaged me because another gal who's been not ordering because her life has changed. She's, moving around a lot, got referred her because she saw that I'm continuing to have a presence
Mhm.
on Facebook and doing those kinds of things. Do I love Facebook? No. But here, it's a necessary
It's a
part.
necessary evil, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they have to see you. They have to know you exist. There's nothing I hate hearing more than running into someone on my team and they say, "Oh, is so and so still doing doTERRA?" And it's like an arrow through my heart,
Yeah.
right? Because that I have really high in empathy, and that makes me feel like those people feel abandoned, which they do, right? So you can still take breaks from your biz to homeschool your kids, or take breaks from your biz for loss of a loved one, or building a house, or relocating, or a husband for mayor and you need lots of breaks, right? Or whatever. It's just never abandoning your biz, right? That's what's beautiful about doTERRA, is it'll be there for you even when you come back, as long as you haven't completely abandoned it. And so that's why I love this story and wanted everyone to hear it. One, because I wanted to celebrate Rainey for hitting gold, because that is just amazing, fantastic. And all, implementing it just as the dust settled from all the chaos, and seeing that, you can do it, and you can do it in any phase of your life, right? You and I are 2 different phases of our life, kind of similar paths. We both relocated from Illinois. Everyone's leaving Illinois. And, right. And here's what's cool too. And Rainey's found this as well. doTERRA isn't just selling people oils. Like, I don't even put that on the scope of the things that I do, to be honest with you, right? It's changing the world of healthcare. It's developing relationships and making friends along the way. Rainey and I didn't even know each other. And now we talk every day. And we're not on the same team. And doTERRA did that for us. And we get to Florida, and it turns out we have Insta friends everywhere because of the relationship connection of doTERRA.
Yes.
And that's pretty huge in a world that's become completely disconnected, really, in human form, even before the current situation, right? The use of cell phones and Facebook and technology, people are losing their human connection. And we got to have a workshop here at my condo with Rainey and all the Biz Tips Pete's and WWZD Pete's that are in Southwest Florida before the current situation. So that was exciting, right? Develop our friendships and support for one another. And it's important to make sure that you're not just being a part of doTERRA thinking, I'm just going to sell some old wheels, right? That's not what we do. We change people's lives, including our own, is what we do.
Exactly. You know, that culture is one of the things beside the purity, and we know the efficacy and all of that, and this high standards of doTERRA. It is that culture in doTERRA where you don't make any money off of me. I don't make any money off of you. You know, the other people that were at that workshop, we're not in the same downline. And yet there's a camaraderie and a generosity that you seldom find in other industries. And I think that that is really the key to doTERRA and to have and enjoying the business, you know.
Enjoying that, right? It's the difference between a job and a joy. Oh, I just made that up. Job and a joy. And so I always had jobs, and now I have joy and I'm being compensated, right, to share the joy. So I love it. Well, thanks, Raine. I'm glad we got to celebrate you today. I'm glad you are almost done with your goodie bags. And I will have 2 boxes of deep blue to share with you tomorrow, so you can get the rest of those out. And thanks everybody for joining me. We go live every Monday at noon Central Standard Time here at Lisa Zimmer, Essential Oils Biz Tips on Facebook. My husband downloads these videos and then loads them to YouTube for those of you rewatching on YouTube. If you can, get access to Facebook because it's so awesome for you to get in here, get into the Files tab. I have dozens and dozens and dozens of free tools, free documents in the Files tab. Go to the Units tab when you get in my Facebook group, Lisa Zimmer Essential Oils Biz Tips. Work through the Units tab. So much great free training there. And then when you're ready to do your biz and go from 0 to Premier or Premier to Gold, get in the WWZDs. Go back if you are looking, someone was looking for advice on where to start. Get 12 ordered and take advantage of what we already launched in there, the masks, sprays, label templates, how to run that class. And then take a break because we won't do a lot in there until mid-September. And then go back and get 8 through 11. Start with 11. That one really was, I really loved that. You don't have to do them in order, but 8 through 11 helps you build your biz successfully, just like Laura and Raine and we had people that ranked diamond, blue diamond that have never ranked before. I like to touch and get multiple ranks interviewed and shared so that everyone understands anyone can do this at any rank. It's not just Premier to Gold or right or diamond to blue, or we're helping everyone. Brand new people go from 0 to manager, director, executive, elite, Premier, like a dream. And but the key is you got to do it. Right? It's not a big investment. It's $29 to $39, right? And I'll save you that and postage alone because I don't do postage anything except Christmas in July and goodie bags, folks. And luckily, I don't have to do Christmas in July for another year. So, all right. I appreciate your time today, Raine. I know you got to go to another appointment, and so do I. And I will see you tomorrow for lunch. And thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great Monday and great week. And we'll see you next week here at noon. And happy oiling.
Take care.
See you tomorrow, babe.